Welcome, everyone. This is Jana Stafford with BIC Magazine. Today, I'm joined by Gary Bernardez, CEO of AMECO, and Tim Freeze, President and Chief Growth Officer of AMECO and F&M MAFCO. Thank you both for offering some of your very limited time to BIC Magazine today.
Great. Thanks for having us, Jana.
You bet. Gary, let me start with you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tim. Gary, for those who may not be familiar with AMECO, could you give us a little history on the company and tell our industry audience about the products and services offered?
Sure. Thank you. Well, this year is the 75th year anniversary of AMECO's existence. So it's a big year in our history. And the company originated as American Equipment Company from the former Daniel Construction Company, which became Fluor over the course of many years. And so it's been a subsidiary of a very large EPC company for 74 years. And that way, if you think about the history there, it grew up understanding and thinking like a contractor. So about a year and a half ago, AMECO was acquired by One Equity Partners and myself. And we bought the company out from Fluor. So it's a standalone private company, now able to focus on serving the market as a private entity. And it's got a broad array of services in terms of over the years developing what our mentality to serving our customers is to manage the indirect products and services that help our customers become more efficient in the execution of projects or maintenance. And at the end of the day, that includes a combination of scaffolding, equipment provision, very innovative tool supply and consumable provision, and also things like hydration, blast shelters, and all of that combines and comes into a package of services that we help customers become more efficient and effective in how they execute their work.
Okay, thanks. Tim, your turn. Could you give us a quick rundown on F&M MAFCO?
Yeah, absolutely. F&M MAFCO is actually 77 years old. We started in business in 1945 by the McKenna family, multi-generational. And in May of 2022, the family was ready to take the next step, and we facilitated a transaction in which we were fortunate enough to be bought by AMECO and part of that whole situation. So if you look at the scope of services that F&M handles going forward, basically everything that Gary articulated previously, we have the capability to do. However, our sweet spot has been that transactional business through the mid-size project for the large industrial outage and maintenance contractors that focus on maintenance turnarounds for the refinery industry and the power industry, primarily focused in the Midwest. So if you take the footprint of F&M and the footprint of AMECO and bring them together, we now have a national scope. So basically the combined organization now handles transactional business from day-to-day transactional business all the way up to an epic size project like a large LNG facility in Canada.
Okay, if you would, could you both talk to me about the catalyst to combining the organizations? What new opportunities have popped up since this move, and how have things progressed since the merger?
Sure. Well, I'll start and happy to have Tim chime in as well. The impetus, as Tim said, for us, for the AMECO organization at the time was to expand our geographic presence in North America, so US and Canada. And also the F&M legacy company has a tremendous reputation in the industry in terms of just getting things done and really being customer focused. We also combined our customer base, broadened greatly by combining AMECO and F&M. Sorry. The other item that was very prominent in the decision to proceed with combining the companies is F&M also brings some interesting technologies to the organization from an e-commerce standpoint and things like that. So the combination, as Tim said, now is able to be transactional in markets when we need to be transactional and serve our customers that way, all the way through project services on mid-size and large-size projects, and then as we call them, the epic projects, which can be, tens and 12, $15 billion of size projects. And that our ability to do that spectrum is a big reason why we acquired F&M.
I think as F&M was looking for that next partner to be able to carry the legacy on of the entrepreneurship that the F&M people and team did and how we built the organization. You combine F&M's entrepreneurial culture with the culture of AMECO, who is entrepreneurial, but also brings a lot of operational efficiencies to us. Being a part of a large EPC, they're very strong in execution and operation. So if you marry entrepreneurial with execution, you bring best of breed to the market and really drive a lot of value to the customer base.
Okay, Gary, how have the employees reacted to the acquisition of F&M MAFCO? Are there any new plans in regards to employee engagement or company culture?
Yeah, there are quite a few actually. The initial reaction was that there's already been quite a bit of change. So when we acquired AMECO from Fluor, we were about 6 or 8 months into that acquisition. So they had become, teammates and employees of now a private organization. And then 6 months later, we started the acquisition of F&M. So quite a bit of change for the employee base of AMECO, but very, very energetic about it. In other words, when we pulled it out of Fluor and acquired it, the whole purpose was to allow it to become the company that it can as a standalone enterprise and serve the industry across North America. So when we talked to them on the acquisition, when we bought it out of Fluor, we told them that there was a combination of just organically growing the company and that mergers and acquisitions would be part of our growth strategy as well. So 6 months after we started, we were able to prove that. And then the big thing on culture is we spent a lot of time on that when we were working in the diligence phase of F&M. We truly appreciate the culture that F&M brings to the table. So we are undergoing a formal cultural combination exercise with a third party. Have a big first session next week with 30 to 40 leaders in the organization to blend the cultures and make sure that we've got alignment on what is most important in terms of the working environment within AMECO and also how we serve our customers.
All right, we've got culture. Let's talk branding. Where are you with this, and what do you see it looking like in maybe say 2 to 3 years from now?
Sure.
Whichever one of you wants to speak.
No problem. I'll start it. I would like Tim to put his perspective on it, because the key to our branding going forward is that we've adopted a best of breed mentality in how we evolve the organization. So one of the important aspects of acquiring F&M was to make sure that all the reasons that we thought it was a good transaction for AMECO, we wanted to make sure all that we did was accentuated those positives. And so in our new branding, which we'll be rolling out at the beginning of the calendar year 2023, you'll see us evolving to what we call AMECO 2.0, which is taking the best aspects of AMECO and F&M and putting them together. And you'll see that reflected in the new branding and logo and messaging of the company when that gets launched in early to mid-January.
Yeah, I think that to further add on to what Gary was saying is if you take, you had two really good brands in the marketplace and bringing them together as one was the primary goal. When bringing this product to market, Gary was very respectful on saying, hey, we were respectful of the F&M brand, but for us to move forward and to really to be effective and seamless to the customer base, we wanted to expedite that and bring it together as one so it's less confusing to the customer. So you're going to see that, like Gary said, the best of breed of that. You're going to see flavors of F&M and you're going to see flavors of AMECO in that process. But the most important thing that we looked at it was through the optics of the customer. Who are they dealing with? And we want them to understand they're dealing with one combined organization that's going to continue to drive the value to them.
Tim, I understand you were named Chief Growth Officer of both organizations. Can you tell me about your long-term plans and growth strategy for the company?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. I'll tell you, this is probably one of the most exciting opportunities I've probably had in a career when you take two best of breed brands and you bring them together. There's a lot of opportunity inside both organizations to bring them together, to grow organically, and then to really leverage customer acquisition. So if you look at us from a value prop to the customer, if you look at the F&M legacy business, very strong in the transactional business, and then you look at the AMECO side of the spectrum, very strong in driving indirect cost savings and cost predictability on large capital projects. Our long-term goal is to take those customers that we have a transactional relationship with and drive them down that value chain so they understand where they can reap the benefits of driving cost of indirects out of their particular projects. So our long-term goal is going to be focused on that. We're going to focus basically in 3 areas. We're going to have the large commercial construction contractors, industrial contractors. We're going to be heavily involved in end user relationships. We're going to be very heavily involved in owner relationships. Those are critical from that perspective. And we'll drive each of our verticals through that. So scaffolding is a very big and important vertical of our organization. So you'll see us driving scaffolding solutions into the project all the way down through to where we handle every indirect type of opportunity for a large capital construction project.
We understand that AMECO, F&M, MAFCO are quite active in Corpus Christi. Can you tell us about some of those projects and what you have going on there?
Sure. Yes, Corpus is very active these days. 2 examples of how we've come together in AMECO 2.0 and serving that particular part of the Gulf Coast. One is a CCP project that was rebirthed last year, or this past year, earlier in the year, and kicked off. We have a full array of site services there, which is equipment rental, tools, supply, consumable provision, blast shelters. So we've provided a site-wide solution on that very large capital project. And then we're also leveraging the derricks and the lifting capabilities that are eminent and very prominent in the F&M MAFCO organization on the Harbor Bridge project, which got recently restarted after some difficulties. And so we've got both of those projects within Corpus active and ongoing.
Okay, moving east, let me give one of you an opportunity to talk about AMECO's fairly recently opened operations center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Vic went out to the ribbon cutting for it, and that was fun. But could you talk to us about the purpose of this facility and why it was needed?
Sure. I'll start, and I'd ask Tim to comment when I'm done, because one of the key strategies is becoming, we're bringing it to fruition in Baton Rouge in the combination of AMECO and F&M. So we opened the Baton Rouge facility very early in the year. And the purpose was to do a couple of things. One, give us a better geographic footprint across the spectrum of the Gulf Coast. It's been an important market for AMECO for a number of years. And we also needed to get closer to the work there. But we're also using it as a showcase of a true site services organization. So we have obviously equipment rental, the tool provision capability we call strike force delivery. We also have scaffolding laydown yard there. Our hydration solution is also there. So it's a showcase of our ability to manage a variety of, as Tim said, indirect products and services, and do it in an efficient manner that's aligned with how the contractor is going to execute the work. And then the other dynamic that's changed once we finished the acquisition of F&M is, as Tim said, they're very, very strong in the transactional side of the business. And one of the first top priorities was to launch our transactional capabilities out of Houston and Baton Rouge. So I'll let Tim fill that in, but that's the combination of capabilities and services that we're able to provide out of Baton Rouge.
Yeah, to further on Gary's comments, a big gap in the F&M world was we have large relationships with large national contractors. When they play in the Midwest, we're very strong. We had difficulty servicing them in the Gulf Coast, where they also have presence. The acquisition by AMECO of F&M, we now take that service offering down into our Houston service center and now into Baton Rouge facility. So it further gives us that transactional presence that we have with the large commercial construction contractor that is doing outage work all along the Gulf Coast, to where we can go in and drive the same solutions on an epic project to an outage and maintenance process. It really expands our offering. So when you have those ebbs and flows in between construction projects, you have transactional business that fills throughout that fills those gaps for us.
Okay, lastly, Gary, I know we spoke previously with you about AMECO's ESG focus. Can you give us an update on where AMECO is in this space now in almost 2023, and how is the ESG rollout plan going?
Sure. Thank you. Well, it continues to be an important topic for us and a very important topic for our customers. So it gets a lot of attention. In general, in an overall context, we believe that we are addressing certain ESG components by simply being and helping the customer be more efficient in our site-wide services. So things are shared. We get the most optimization out of things, including the different equipment and tool requirements, et cetera. But two very specific advancements that are associated with the benefits from an ESG standpoint are our integrated scaffolding solution with Perry. Our Perry scaffolding material is top shelf, and one of the ESG components that it greatly benefits is the fact that it requires no consumables, no tie wire, no lumber. So it's a great scaffold solution that definitely helps us achieve ESG related objectives with our customers. The other one that we've made advancements with a partner, Waterfleet, is our site hydration solutions. And they are changing the game on how we keep people hydrated and how we deal with wastewater on projects. And a good, interesting fact is that for every 1,000 people per year, our solution is able to reduce 2.5 tons of plastic by not having thousands and thousands and thousands of water bottles all over the place. Our solution is a higher technical solution and eliminates the need for that. So those are two specific products, services that we're doing that are helping us advance in the ESG area.
That's great. Tim and Gary, let's wrap this interview up. Thank you both for talking with BIC Magazine today. For those interested in learning more about AMECO and F&M MAFCO, please visit ameco.com. As always, we are most grateful for our audience. Please like and share this recording with colleagues. And for more industry news, videos, webinars, and podcasts, visit bicmagazine.com. And remember, it's what we do together that counts.